Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about my ownership experience with my Gen 3 Raptor because I've had it for just over a year and over 10,000 miles at this point. And I have done a ton of stuff with this Raptor, from daily driving to jumping it way too many times. Before we get in the video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. And first off, if you guys don't know about my Gen 3 Raptor, this is it. It's the bright green one, and I feel like everyone kind of knows this because of the green. And well, completely unrelated to the Raptor, it has snowed so much. I mean, look at this. It's got to be like 2 feet here on the driveway. And before you ask, no, I'm not shoveling the driveway. And why I'm not shoveling the driveway is because 37s, 35s, I don't need a shovel. You just big enough tires and you can just leave your driveway snowy, icy, whatever it may be. Well, there you go. There's the proof. 10,381.9 miles on the Gen 3 Raptor. Now we're driving the Raptor, so I can quickly talk about a couple of things in terms of just how this drives and how this feels. First off, fuel economy. You guys can see averaging 15.3 miles per gallon, and this is between me driving it and then my wife driving it. She drives mostly around town. I drive mostly on the interstates, but she's been driving it for like the last few months, and so most of that is actually her, not me, just saying. Now, something that I love about the Gen 3 is the 4-wheel drive system. So I'm in 4-wheel auto right now, which is perfect for snowy conditions like this. With the 37s and the 4-wheel drive system, I mean, you are literally unstoppable in this truck. And then the next thing is gonna be general comfort. So the seats are really comfortable in the Raptor. These are the more heavily bolstered seats that you get with the 37 package. Well, they used to be standard, but now they're optional. I will say the black leather seats are a little bit more comfortable than these ones, but these are fine for daily driver use. And speaking of daily driver stuff, I love how the Raptor shows you the speed limit. So then, like, if you forget to look at the sign, which sometimes I do, then you can go and look at the dash and be like, okay, not speeding, or I am speeding, time to slow down. And speaking of acceleration, I feel like the acceleration with the Gen 3, just with the regular EcoBoost, is more than enough. Yes, the Raptor R definitely takes it to a whole nother level. I reviewed a couple of them, but this, you know, obviously gets better fuel economy, and again, it is more than enough power. And braking is also really good with the Raptor. Now, some other stuff. After living with this for over a year, I love the heated and cooled seat function. Definitely helps no matter what season it is. The dual zone climate, also another nice thing to have if you're married. And then the infotainment system. This horizontal unit is fantastic. The 360 camera system that it has, can I pop it on? Yes. Good, pop it on. Really good system for both on-road and off-road use. And it's nice because this is a big truck, so it's good having a camera system like that to make it so parking's easier. And then something that I think is pretty cool is the steering wheel. So you guys know I'm a huge fan of the design, but I feel like it's worn pretty well. Again, you know, just over 10,000 miles, and it still looks pretty much brand new. And then the paddles, obviously, that's another cool touch point that, you know, you can occasionally use on your daily drive to have a little bit more fun. I mean, look at this. It's quick. And then some other random stuff. First off, storage space, obviously fantastic here in the Raptor. Actually, a little bit too fantastic because you guys can probably see all the junk that my wife has in the truck. So yeah, you can fit a lot of stuff in here. Now, just like other F-150s, this has the fold-down shifter and then it has a workbench center console. I have never used that function once. And also, we're heading to the DMV. Don't worry, I'm at a stop here, and this is why we're heading to the DMV. This is the license plate, the custom license plate I got for the GT500. I just have to get transferred to the new GT500 because I obviously bought a new one. Yeah, I'm the biggest troll on the planet. You gotta love me. Now, I will say one big gripe that I have with this truck is actually the panoramic sunroof. I've talked about this in other videos, but I'll quickly mention it here. Basically, I'm probably never going to order a panoramic sunroof in a truck again, and I just went for a pretty big bump there. The reason being is I never use it, and then it just rattles, and then sometimes when you use it, it doesn't always like function properly, and so, yeah, especially if you're going to off-road your Raptor, I would say don't get the sunroof. And so putting everything together from this section in the video, this alongside the Ram TRX and obviously the R version of of this truck are amazing daily drivers that are also really fun. And then obviously you have the practical truck stuff. And so I don't really know of a better daily driver vehicle than this, or the TRX, or the Raptor R at this point, with just all the utility you get and the comfort that you get. I mean, this literally rides like pretty much as smooth as like a Mercedes S-Class, but then you can also send it off a jump at like 50 miles an hour if you want, and you can also tow with it. Like it's crazy how much stuff this truck can do. Home sweet home. And well, I guess we're gonna just plow right through this. Do this in your Toyota. Just plowing. Oh look, it's Juan. The guy that stays in the street. He could have parked in the driveway, would have been fine with that. Boom! Man, I love this thing. I guess I was a bit too optimistic. I thought that I was gonna be able to film the last few clips of this video outside because, well, I thought that the snow would stop, and it hasn't quite stopped. So now let's dive into my cost of ownership with the Ford Raptor, and then also let's talk about the reliability of the Ford Raptor, because I think it's actually pretty surprising. Now, when it comes to cost of ownership with the Gen 3 Ford Raptor, for me, it's actually dirt cheap. So I don't know what my exact insurance premium is for the Raptor. I just know what my overall premium is. So it's $4,000 per year to insure all of my vehicles. So that is the Gen 3 Raptor, the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392, the Land Rover Defender, and the GT500 that's not here. So I insure 4 vehicles for about $4,000 per year. So that comes out to about $1,000 per vehicle per year. Now, in terms of fuel costs on the Raptor, if we take my 15.5-ish miles per gallon and we take my 10,000 miles, that'll come out to, let's just say, an average cost of $4 per gallon of gas, $2,500 in terms of fuel over the year. So we add that to the insurance premium, $3,500. And then when it comes to maintenance costs on the Raptor, oil change, tire rotation, I mean, we're talking like $100 per year, roughly. So $3,600 per year to own a Gen 3 Raptor. That's cheap. Now, you probably noticed with that cost of ownership breakdown that I have not had any sort of like extra costs associated with the truck. Like, I haven't had to take it in for a single warranty claim. I haven't had anything actually break on the truck, which I think is absolutely insane considering everything that I have done with the truck. Again, this is a YouTube truck that has been used for fun YouTube stuff. I've jumped the truck probably 2 or 3 dozen times. I have heavily off-roaded it. Obviously, I've daily driven it. My wife's daily driven it. And seriously, it has caused us no issues. And so, like, I don't think that there's another vehicle other than the Ram TRX and the Ford Raptor R, maybe the Bronco Raptor, that you can buy, that you can do as much as you can do with this Raptor and have it survive. Like, seriously, if you like top line Toyota TRD Pro, like let's say Tundra, Sequoia, 4Runner, Tacoma, if you did half of the stuff with those vehicles that I have done with the Raptor, the wheels would fall off. I don't care how reliable Toyotas are. Like, the abuse that the Raptor can take is insane. Like, Ford seriously over-engineered this truck. Like, I can think of one experience off of hand where I was out in the middle of the desert and I was driving at like 70 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the road just like took this big divot down and then up. There's like this really big ditch, and the truck basically just careened into the ditch because like, how it was like sightline wise is you couldn't see it until you're pretty much in it. And like, it was pretty much a crash. Like, the truck hit into it and then bounced out of it. And I seriously thought that like I just totaled my Raptor because it was a horrible like sound on the front end and everything. And the truck was completely fine. There was nothing that was broken. I took it into the dealership, and you know what they said? They said, oh, your alignment was off by like this much. And so, like, if that had happened in any other vehicle, even perhaps the TRX, I won't say that that's a thing or not, because I didn't have that situation happen with my TRX, but I think even that truck might have had a little bit more damage than what happened with the Raptor. And so there's just not another vehicle that you can buy that's as like over-engineered as this truck. It's crazy just how much abuse this truck can take, and how like nothing seems to phase it. Like, it's crazy just how amazing the Raptor is. And I know that I'm gonna get a lot of crap from the Toyota crowd because they're gonna say, Ben, yes, maybe the shocks and the suspension can handle a bunch of abuse, but the rest of the truck, right? It's not going to be able to stand the test of time. And my answer to you is, well, go look at Gen 2 Raptors, go look at Gen 1 Raptors. There are plenty of examples with well over 100,000 miles that are still running. Yes, there are some things that can pop up, like with the Gen 2s, you have the cam phaser issue that can pop up that, you know, can be a pretty devastating thing that will happen to the truck. But it's also something that you can tell when it's happening and you can get it fixed. fixed, and most of my friends that have had that happen to their trucks have had it still covered under warranty. And so, you know, with everything taken into consideration, with the fact that Ford's been building these EcoBoost powertrains for over a decade and Toyota is just getting into turbocharged powertrains, I think that Ford's the safer route at this point, at least with the Raptors. I can't say the same for the rest of Ford's lineup, but at least for the Raptors, from my experience and from what I have seen with other Raptor owners, like, it is such a reliable, durable truck. And again, I just don't think there's anything else that you can really purchase on the market other than Ram TRX, Ford Bronco Raptor, Ford Raptor R that is just as like crazy durable, overbuilt as the Raptor is.